Hello, everyone. Happy Giving Tuesday. I am Celeste Flores with the Giving Tuesday team, and I am lucky enough to be in conversation with these three incredible leaders who are leading movements in their respective communities. They do work year round, but their organizations on the day are doing something different or using the megaphone of the day to raise awareness. They, particularly these three leaders and their organizations, use culture and history and a common language of generosity to bring people together for collective action to fund important work of their communities that are traditionally underfunded or experience a resource gap. But today you're going to hear a little bit about their respective campaigns and hear their stories, and then how you could help and be a part of their story. So I'm going to ask them to just introduce themselves a little bit, and then we'll get into some really good information about their respective communities. Lee, why don't you kick us off and introduce yourself?
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you so much for Celeste for having me here this morning, and hello to you, Rafia and Jessica. Happy Giving Tuesday, everybody. My name is Lee Anderson. I do communications at The Giving Gap, which is an organization that was started up right at the height of the pandemic in 2020 as a way to make sure that we were funneling very needed funds into Black-founded organizations. I'll talk a little bit later on about, more about my organization and why it is that we do what we do. But we are really excited to be involved in Giving Tuesday because it is one of the biggest giving days in the year. And so knowing what we've got going on and knowing all the things that our communities are trying to work really hard to get toward, we couldn't let a Giving Tuesday go by and miss it, essentially. So, yeah, I'm just happy to be here and happy to be in conversation with you all.
Thanks, Lee. Rafia, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Again, just want to echo what Lee said. Thank you so much for having us. Really excited about Giving Tuesday. It's finally here. Our team has been working hard at it for several months and weeks now. But my name is Rafia Khader. I am with a Muslim crowdfunding platform called LaunchGood, and I am a program manager there. And Giving Tuesday is also one of our highest fundraising seasons, and it's a time for Muslims to really be inspired by generosity, and for users around the world really to give on our platform. And I will be talking a little bit more about how that's going to look, but I'm excited to be here. So thank you.
Thanks. And Jessica, tell us what's
Hi,
going on.
thank you so much again, and happy Giving Tuesday. Thank you so much, Celeste, for organizing this amazing organization, this amazing conversation. My name is Jessica Borges. I'm Partnerships Associate at Hispanics in Philanthropy, working with the HipGive team, and we are celebrating Latinx generosity by launching another edition of Latinx Give. So we're really excited about Giving Tuesday, and we have really exciting opportunities during these days. So I'm really happy to be part of this movement, and thank you again for organizing this amazing space. Happy Giving Tuesday again.
Happy Giving Tuesday. I should note that LaunchGood, or Muslims Give with LaunchGood, and Latinx Give it with Hispanics in Philanthropy are some of the first kind of cause-based, culture-based campaigns that we had at Giving Tuesday, and I just love seeing it continue to grow. And Giving Gap is like 2 years old as an organization at most, so we're really excited about the voice and the story that you bring to the day of Giving Tuesday. So Lee, I'm gonna get to questions now, because I want you to all talk about a little bit that would help people understand why are you uplifting these campaigns? What's behind that, and then also maybe just some advice that of how people can participate this Giving Tuesday. So Lee, let's start with your hashtag even says it in the name. It's like closing the gap, close the gap. Why is it important for people to know about the organizations, the Black founded organizations that are on your platform, that could be in people's backyards who are watching this? Why is it important to fund that community of leaders and projects and programs that you're raising funds for?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for the question. It's a great question, and it's a question that I really enjoy answering for people. Just a little bit of history first on the organization that will work up to the answer. As I mentioned at the onset, we were started about 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, at the height of the pandemic in 2020, right after the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. And one of the things that we found, and this is part of why we exist, is that there were so many people who wanted to give to organizations. They saw what was happening in the Black community, not only just with police violence, but also the thing that we saw, of course, not only here, but worldwide, in the way that the coronavirus pandemic just kind of exacerbated a lot of the conditions that, people in marginalized communities were already going through. So we find ourselves in this moment. So many people want to give, and they're like, oh my God, other than maybe like the Red Cross, we're not exactly sure who to give to. That was the moment when our founders knew that, okay, we're onto something here, and there's a void that we can fill here. And so, that all being said, one of the other things that we know is that with all of the billions and billions of dollars that get moved each year in charitable giving, it's only a very small fraction. I think it's a little bit less than 4% of that actually goes to BIPOC folks, to Black folks, Indigenous people, other organizations that were founded and led by people of color. And so for us, we really recognize that, there's a gap that needs to be filled here, not only just in terms of getting these communities these resources so that they can better navigate the issues and things that they are dealing with there, but we also realize that as a country, as a people, systemically, if we're going to really be able to tackle systemic racism and a lot of the ills that are plaguing our society, one of the best and most important things that we could do and be sure not to neglect within that is by making sure that we're giving this money to Black-founded organizations. And for our organization, we like to focus on Black-founded folks or Black-founded organizations because those are the organizations that are most likely to work with the needs of Black communities in mind. They employ Black people, they develop Black leaders. And so this is the reason why for us, we see it as a step forward in the right direction. And so now that it's Giving Tuesday, we're asking as many people as possible to do two things. One, of course, follow Giving Tuesday and look for all of the, great things that are happening and just kind of feeling that buzz and, getting that energy inside of you. But then the bigger thing is, as we said there in the hashtag, close the giving gap. If you go to givinggap.org, we have a platform that has over 1,000. We're slowly creeping up toward 2,000 Black-founded organizations that you can give to. And they work across a variety of areas, everything from education and the arts to violence prevention and homelessness. We've got it all, things that are plaguing the community. And again, for us, it's really important in making sure that we are supporting these Black-founded organizations simply because we know that they're not getting resources at a comparable level of their, or I should say at a level that is comparable to those of their white peers. So that's a little bit about me. Go to givinggap.org and find a Black or founded organization and give them a gift.
I love it. Yes, I love it. Thank you so much for that story and that history and the understanding of the issue, but more importantly, how a proximate leader in the community is the one that knows the best on how to distribute or how to use resources to take care of that community. So I love that. Rafia, let's get to you on Launch Good and Muslims Give and a little bit more about your story. So my question to you is, for the donor community looking to give monetary donations, that's what we're talking about right now, is monetary donations. However, Giving Tuesday is about all the forms of generosity, including giving money. But why do days like Giving Tuesday or Giving Moments, and how do platforms like the three of you who are on this call each have a platform? How do platforms like these three that we're talking about today work for raising money and for the people who are not only the recipients of the money, but also those who are giving money?
Perfect. Yeah, what a wonderful question. So Launch Good has been around for a little over 9 years. In October of next year, we will be celebrating our 10-year anniversary, and we are a Muslim crowdfunding campaign. So we support Muslims all over the world. We're not a charitable foundation, but we support charities on our platform. And so one of the things that I would say that we actually do help with for people that are looking to start fundraisers is is that one thing that's really special about Giving Tuesday is really supported by the generosity of our donors around the world is we give prizes for fundraisers that are supporting or are on Launch Good on Giving Tuesday. So today, so if you haven't already started a campaign on our platform, there's still time to join. You can start a campaign on launchgood.com. And one of the things that LaunchGood really does, I think, best, and I think distinguishes us from other crowdfunding platforms that you may be aware of, is that we really give individual support to all of our campaign creators. So we have a team member from our business development team that works with our campaign creators from the very beginning of starting a campaign to best ways to pitch your campaign out to your supporters, how to create compelling copy, how to tell really amazing stories about the work that you're doing. So that's one thing that we can give to people that want to fundraise today on Giving Tuesday on our platform. It's that individualized support and coaching. One thing that platforms like Launch Good and Close the Giving Gap and Hispanics in Philanthropy, I think, does really well is that since our platform is really, it's kind of like a curation of all different types of causes that you can find around the world. We're a Muslim crowdfunding campaign, so things that are really important to the Muslim community is supporting refugees, helping orphan support. Giving to orphans was something that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was really a big supporter of and encouraged all Muslims around the world to support orphans. So that's something that's really important and is a big part of Launch Good. And so Giving Tuesday is a global day of generosity, and you might be seeing organizations on social media and you say, like, these are such amazing organizations, I want to give to all of them. But I think what platforms are like us, like all three are represented on this call, do is try to curate them and show if you're interested in a particular area, you can give to this cause, you can give to that cause. I think it kind of lessens the overwhelmingness of this amazing day.
I agree. Could not agree more. And I love that too, that it's not just about the donor community, well, making it easy for the donor community, but also building capacity for the organizations that are on y'all's platforms. And I think that that is really something that is to be noted, is that you're not only, providing them with the technology so that they could receive donations, you're amplifying their stories, but you're also teaching. And you're also building capacity and them learning from one another. So I love that you brought that up. And again, these platforms being able to service donors in a really easy way. So Jessica, let's talk about Latinx Give and Hip Give. Giving Tuesday, and it's a day, but we work year round, right? About growing generosity globally. But campaigns like you three, but also the work that you do year round, really exists to build the world that we all could imagine to be possible. And I think that is the hope of a day like this, is about everybody coming together. Everyone has something to give. Everyone can receive generosity. But when we operate from a place of generosity, it changes systems, it changes processes, it changes inequities. And I think that getting to the root of being about our shared humanity is what's so important. And I think this is the work that you all are doing year round. While we're talking about technology, it's really about people. And so tell me what you think would be possible when people take collective action and support communities like yours, and the organizations and the leaders that you support on your platform. I'd love your take on it.
Thank you, Celeste. Thank you so much for that question. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of possibilities and opportunity when we all come together and celebrate generosity. We are definitely challenging traditional philanthropy. We are definitely challenging a system that is not serving our communities, and it is not representing the demographics of our country. We know that our communities are doing an amazing work, but they are underfunded. Less than 1% of all philanthropic resources are going to the Latino community in the U.S., to Latinx serving organizations in the U.S. And in the case of Latin America, less than 6% of all philanthropic resources for international causes are going to our countries in Latin America and the Caribbean. So we are really challenging traditional philanthropy by really celebrating the power of collective giving and the idea that we can all be philanthropists. Because another thing that we are challenging is the idea that philanthropy is only reserved for the ultra wealthy. We are really trying to spread the word that we can all be philanthropists, we can all engage in philanthropy, and there is opportunity for all of us to give, to volunteer, to do something during Giving Tuesday. That's why this movement is so important, because there is definitely space for all of us, and this is something that we're really trying to inspire through our Latinx Give campaign. We have different opportunities for everybody to engage. We have around 60 organizations that join our movement, but we also have the opportunity for Latinx leaders, for social change leaders, to create a giving circle and to become leaders in their communities, and to participate in participatory grant making process and participatory philanthropy. So this movement is about all of us to feel that we can engage, that we can participate, and that philanthropy is for all of us. And I think that Hispanics in Philanthropy has been a great organization, democratizing philanthropy in more than 4 decades of work. And we hope to keep doing that, because definitely philanthropy is for all of us, and we need to be part of that.
I agree. Each of y'all have touched on something so important when it comes to days like today, is that you guys are doing this year round, but you really are providing an easy, fast, but impactful way for people to engage. But more importantly, the notion of collective giving, it's something that is a tradition and a thing for centuries. However, this is providing an opportunity for all of us to come together, and your $10 and your $10 and your $10 together. What are we able to do together? I love that you all are also helping those leaders and those organizations who are doing the work, and helping them in a way that's relevant to them, and a way that is relevant to the culture, and honoring that. I could not thank you guys enough for this conversation. I am grateful. I think you all have given some really easy ways for people to not only go to the websites to give to organizations that you all support, but more importantly, thank you for sharing the information of what is needed by these communities to make funding and resources more equitable. So it's been a pleasure. Happy Giving Tuesday. Thank you, everyone. I look forward to hearing more on social media about what you do, and links will be provided. So thank you, Lee, Raffia, and Jessica, for the work you do year round.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for pulling this together and for having us.